Yo, were you a little sensitive as a child? You always were compassionate and empathetic to your friends and dogs and animals? Well, then maybe you had Ceres in Pisces. Pew. Hey, what's up, good people? Today I'm back trying to wrap up this series, only two more to go, and I'm doing Ceres, the goddess of harvest, in the sign of Pisces the fish. So we're going to break that down so you guys can really understand how the energy of Ceres, Ceres, the little question mark sickle, plays out in the natal birth chart. So when you have Ceres in Pisces, let's break down what is Ceres itself, right? It's about low self-esteem, secret sorrows. It's how you were nurtured and cared for growing up by your mother, and how you may nurture and care for your loved ones or children. Ceres also can show your food, because it's the goddess of harvest. Your fashion, right? Your sensibility. We'll talk about that in Pisces. It can be very, very distinct and clear. We also can see, family-ish things here, the secret sorrows, and in rare cases, but mainly in the first 4 or 5 houses, you could see where you could be lost, stolen, abducted, or kidnapped. I've seen it happen, so don't be surprised, especially in houses 1 through 4, maybe even 5. Ceres, really gets us into connecting to the harvest and the grains, right? What we may like to eat. So let's talk about Pisces, right? Pisces the fish. It's nebulous, confusion, idealistic, unrealistic. It's spiritual, creative, imaginative. It's deception, delusion, chemicals, addiction. Okay? Pisces is agape, Christ-like love. It holds the energy of all 12 signs. And Pisces can have sometimes, that depression or the drugs or escapism connects to pharmaceuticals as well. So, for Pisces people who are always kind of in the ethers, they're super creative and very spiritual. When you have Ceres and Pisces growing up, you may have received a lot of compassion and empathy. You could have been babied and, oh, sweetie, do. Are you okay, little girl? You okay, little boy? Very nurturing, compassionate, but also it could have been very dreamy, a little idealistic, unrealistic. You could have had parents who could have been addicted to drugs and alcohol too, or pharmaceuticals. I mean, that's the low vibration side of it, but it's something that I've got to explain because it could literally happen. Having Ceres in Pisces, you may love to drink a lot of water. You may have been that kid and you never drank soda or milk. You always just drank water. But you could literally be the person that is like the crazy seafood. You love sushi. You love like tuna and salmon and halibut and bass and flounder and bluefish and porgies. Ooh, Lord, clams and scallops. Ugh. Stay away from the shrimp and lobster, but you may like it. So, one thing you could really see with Ceres Goddess of Harvest is that you can feel like these ebbs and flows of depression, of mood swings, of like kind of just always being in between two realms and two worlds. You may also experience that, for your fashion, at some points you could be like very high fashion movie star and you could wear a lot of blue, green, white. But at the same time, you could be like almost dressing like a vagabond or homeless person or a complete hippie, Birkenstocks or barefoot or, sandals or, flip-flops, and you're just wearing like fishing outfits and beach clothes, like you're a surfer dude, that could definitely play out, But one thing you'll notice is that they are definitely going to be someone who could be like, okay, like they're part of PETA, like I won't wear any fur, or they may want to wear metaphysical, spiritual clothing or high vibrational clothing, cotton, organic cotton, linen, wool. With Ceres Goddess of Harvest, you can be very into crystals and copper and growing things in your garden and in terms of like using sound frequencies and technology. You may often like, oh, I've got to have my crystals in sound bowl, and I'll play music from my plants and instrumental, classical, and jazz music. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a really interesting energy. But you can have this depression if you are lost, stolen, abducted, or kidnapped. Let's say in the first house, you may have issues, with digestion in terms of eating any seafood or fish, or drinking water. But you may find that you could be lost, stolen, abducted, or kidnapped. And with it being in Pisces, it could be by a homeless person or someone that's drugging you, like a drug overdose, date rape in the fifth house, or the seventh or eighth house Ceres. You could deal with date rape. You could deal with someone, putting something in your drink, right? In your pharmaceuticals, or be like, ooh, what's this in this drink with your chlorophyll? I may have poisoned you. And you may like chlorophyll to detox the heavy metals. Really good for you. But, Ceres and Pisces, you may feel nurtured and cared for through the intuitive sensibilities. Could have a psychic connection to your mom. You may love music and music therapy, things like that. So there's definitely a lot that you can see with this placement. In the fourth house, you could experience where, there could be some issues with mom and depression, and you don't feel so nurtured and cared for, you know? In the third house, you just may feel like you are always looking out and taking care of your younger siblings and cousins and stuff like that. You're like, oh, don't step on the ants, and like you could be that type of person, and there's nothing wrong with that. Excuse me. Especially if you have it in the second house, you could be a big seafood person, right? Growing up at Martha's Vineyard, I used to get seafood and go fishing every summer. The bluefish and the porgies and the bass, clams, clam takeout, scallops, oysters, all that good stuff. Just love it. So, overall, this is going to be an energy where you could be extremely creative, and you can find creative ways where you make movies or have a YouTube channel with your children. You teach them how to write scripts, things like that, in terms of how you want to nurture and care for others. You could be someone who's like teaching them poetry and singing and dancing and things like that, because Pisces is extremely creative, and Ceres is that food and fashion. You know, these are the people though too. They could wear the Birkenstocks. They could be very altruistic. Really, being taught how to be compassionate and to, feed and donate money to charities or help homeless people. It's really a great energy. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below to let me know where you have Ceres and Pisces. And if you have this, you could be experiencing the Saturn and Neptune hitting it, which could, definitely, and this is in 2025, in 2026, it's going to be in the Aries for a bit to 2029 into 2038 for Saturn and Neptune. So for Saturn Pisces and Neptune Pisces hitting your Ceres, this could make a change on your food, your fashion, but how you nurture and care for others, especially if you're an adult now. So just be mindful of that. Definitely, you want to nurture and care for your loved ones by tapping into your spiritual gifts and abilities, right? Be positive and optimistic. Pisces, like Sag, likes to zoom out because it's ruled by Jupiter. So you could see the big picture in terms of, really what things are meaning on a spiritual level, not just in the physical 3D mundane. So that's pretty much it for you, Ceres and Pisces. I hope you enjoy. Please comment and share down below. Subscribe and ring the bell and the alarm. And just let me know where you have Ceres and Pisces. And, if you're interested, I may do Ceres through the houses. I may not, but I definitely wanted to get this series finished. And I'll be wrapping up with my final video of Ceres and Cancer. But this is all about you, Pisces the fish. Ceres in Pisces. Wow. You're pretty empathetic and compassionate, and definitely that all-encompassing, deep, deep love. And that's what the Pisces energy is all about. That's why Venus is exalted in Pisces. And Ceres in Pisces, they're very kind and thoughtful. But they have that grandmother, grandfather archetype where they're always trying to tell you, you got to do this. This is the best. So they nurture through their wisdom and compassion and empathy, but it's low-key, almost a little bossy, but it's just, thinking that they know the best way for you to be. Okay? That's Ceres in Pisces. I'm Eric Taylor, BigEAstro, and this is Ceres in Pisces in the natal birth chart. Peace.